It's Mike Jones, iHeartRadio, and I have the one and only super influencer and the leader of Joywave, too, Mr. Daniel Armbruster, joining us. Dan, if you have anything serious you want to talk about, if there's any charities you're involved in, get to it now because I got a whole bunch of nonsense we need to get into. So just get the serious stuff out of the way.
Let's skip to the nonsense.
Dude, you guys got the tour going on. I love the new album, Permanent Pleasure. There's
Thank you.
cats. There's bowling we need to talk about, and your awesome
Bowling?
merchandise. I want to get to bowling too.
Okay.
We'll get into it. We'll get into all
Okay, sure.
But first off, tell me about how you're squaring off with the Canadian government. What's going on with your rivalry with the Great White North?
Oh, Mike, I'm so glad that you asked about this. And listen, I don't like to get into politics, but I do like to get into Canadian politics. This will only play, of course, south of the border, but Joywave is a band from Rochester, New York. We live about one street into the United States of America. And sadly, Mike, the Canadian government has decided to have these intellectual protectionist tariff laws. So in Canada, over 50% of the broadcast media has to be created by Canadians and recorded in Canada for them to play it on the air. So this props up these bands in Canada and these artists who, let's say I'm listening in Oshawa or Ottawa or Montreal or something, and I accept the premise that this is music that people listen to, and it isn't. It's Canadian government music, funded by the state, which I don't approve of, where Joywave should be. And the people of, DC or Philly or wherever hearing this right now, the people in Canada will never hear it. So Joywave has decided to take on the Canadian government and fight for change. We of course don't get a vote in Canada, but we're running a single issue campaign right now that we like to call Legalize Joywave. I'm not familiar really with their system of government or where the ideological lines in it are or what issues may be at stake other than my issue. But really, whichever party up there is willing to embrace the legalized Joywave movement is the one that I plan to get behind.
The way I see it, Joywave and Justin Trudeau both start with J. So you got him on your side as far as I'm concerned.
Do we?
Yeah, he should.
He's been prime minister for how many years? And he has not legalized Joywave. And I ask that not rhetorically. I would like to know how many years he's been prime minister for. I don't know.
A long time, it seems like.
It does, right?
So you guys are right across the lake in Rochester. They should be hearing your music on American stations. So I don't understand. Joywave should be Canadian adjacent and get a bypass, as far as I'm concerned.
Correct. And also, we're big hockey fans. Like, I think we're the only band that wants to do well in Canada and doesn't look at the calendar and groan when they see a Toronto date. I'm like, oh, how close to the Hockey Hall of Fame are we? And yet we're legislated out of existence there. So it's really sad. I think all the Canadian bands want to do well in the U.S. and we're the only U.S. band being like, please let us break through into that Canadian market.
All right. I will say then maybe you do a cover of Loverboy or Rush or Bryan Adams, something. Maybe that could get you in.
Yes, yeah. So they all like the Tragically Hip, right? Yeah.
Something like that, eh? Well, here on American soil where it really counts though, Joywave, you guys got the tour going strong in San Francisco soon. LA's coming up, Phoenix. Mm-hmm. Houston, Atlanta, New York, Boston, DC, and Philly. I mean, Joywave, you will be seen and heard coast to coast in the good old US of A, sir.
Oh, hell yeah. I love how the first 5 minutes of the interview are just like complaining about the Vancouver market for us.
I told you, very important nonsense that we had to get to. Anyone that wants to get those tickets, joywavemusic.com. Don't go to joywave.com. You'll have your identity stolen. It's not going to be good. You're probably going to be signed up for Canadian whatever, but go
right. Well, it'll be stolen by us. See, joywave.com is a scam that we are running to just scam our fans. But joywavemusic.com is where people go if they're just looking for the music, not the scam.
Yeah, see, I did all the hard research here, Dan. It's all
wow, that's right impressive.
There. It's all there. Permanent Pleasure, the new album. I love it. It's another great one from you guys. Why has it taken this long, though, to get a cat theme on an album? It's been how many records now? 5 records?
Yeah, it's been 5 records. I think it was the pandemic really just sitting and watching my 2 cats lay in a sunbeam and saying these guys have no idea what's happening, and I wish I could lobotomize myself and not know what's happening. So it's trying to tap into a little bit of that.
Well, it's a lot of fun, dude, and I like that you had the vinyl album with the fold out living room, and then you could get the cat in there. I mean, you're doing right for the feline community, man. You really are.
We try, yeah. We've got the little figurine that sits on the record while it's spinning around and playing. I mean, we love being creative, and the great part about we make the records ourselves and produce them and everything, so we kind of get to oversee all of it and make sure that it's all working together.
Who do you go to say we need a giant cat sleeping on the stage every night? Like, how long does that take to get made? Who do you go to?
Okay, so I don't know the company that made it, but I don't know their name, or I would name check them. Our crew does. Basically, you have a lot of calls with your crew where you say, "I need a giant cat on stage," and they say, "Daniel, surely there's another way," and you say, "No, no, no, there isn't. We need a giant cat," and they say, "Give us 5 weeks," and they figure out how to do it, which is great.
That's pretty fast. I would think a giant cat would take months to create, but a month and a week, that's pretty good. Because I could see, like, the last tour, you had the car wash stuff, you had the Corvette. That would be easy to get that stuff, but a giant cat. And where is the Corvette? What do you do with the end of a Corvette after a tour?
I'm so glad that you asked us. Joywave is lucky to have a lot of very enthusiastic fans now, and we sold the back half of the Corvette on eBay, and I wish I knew the person's name who came and got it. But they drove literally from California to Rochester, New York, to our storage space where Paul, our drummer, met them and helped them get it into a trailer, and they took it home. And I don't remember if they said they were turning it into a bar or a bed, but a fan bought it, which is amazing.
That's fantastic. Did you
Yeah.
like, was that like a charity thing? I don't know. I didn't even see that.
Yeah, yeah. So that was a charity thing, and all of the money went to benefiting Joywave, who unfortunately had lost a lot of money by buying half of a Corvette previously.
That's
So it went
very
to recouping costs on that.
that's very generous of you guys to give back
Yes.
to people that need it, to yourself.
Well, we say that's the thing is we support the arts, right? You got to support artists.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to support bands that are just out there making music and doing it for the integrity of music.
That's right. That's right.
I was hoping that you had the Corvette still, and like your other stuff, like the big orange backdrop from touring years ago, that there was like the Joy Wave warehouse, the Joy warehouse somewhere, and we could maybe do a tour one day.
So there is, let's see, we still have the Giant Possession golden record that didn't get used because that tour got canceled because of COVID. Um, we also have, what else do we have? We do have those backdrops from the early tours still. We've saved all those. So I would like to do something with those at some point.
Maybe a greatest hits compilation of your tour. Just bring it all out one day.
Yeah, just drop the background and do like the big drop between every single song. Yeah.
Like when Weird Al changes outfits 80 times during each. You guys could do that. And talking about stage outfits, Dan, you got a pajama theme going this time. Now, what's the appropriate attire for someone coming to one of these upcoming Joywave concerts, where you can get tickets at joywavemusic.com, by the way?
So I would say appropriate attire is pants and a shirt and anything like that. Leave the pajamas to us. We're the guys being comfortable on stage, you know?
Silk for the stars only.
Yes, thank you. You said it, not me.
um, when things were getting going back in the spring for the album, who knew that I was going to open up a Marvel comic book and see Joywave in there? And I know you guys are with your record company is with Disney and all. So does that give you the in with the mouse when you go to Disneyland and Disney World? Do you cut the line for everything, Dan?
No, no, we don't. And I remember early on when we signed asking about that, and they were like, "No, that's for Katy Perry," and I was like,
Who?
"Shouldn't right?" I was like, "Shouldn't it be for us too?" And I guess the answer is no.
Did Katy Perry make Destruction? No.
No, she famously did not make the
She did
shuffle.
not. She did not. You know who did? You did, sir. And you should be able to get on It's a Small World any darn time you want. I'm
Thank
gonna stop
you.
there. I don't want Mickey getting mad at me or you. Probably more important for you not to get angry.
No, no, and I just want to say, I agree with you because I don't want to push back on what you just said, and I would appreciate it if you sent it to the overlords.
I will send it to Mickey at Disney.com.
Yes.
We talked about how you had the new record with Permanent Pleasure. You did the 3D living room on there. Also, with your other band, Best Friends, you made a board game. We didn't even get to talk about that when that came out. How freaking great is that? You made your own board game.
I think is great.
I mean,
It's
like, where does the idea for that come from?
I don't know, man. We just like doing stupid stuff, and the more of it you get to do, the better.
All right, and will there be a Joywave official board game down the road? Maybe a Joywave version of Clue. I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Ooh, that actually would be fun. I guess who?
I
That
guess
could be good
who?
too.
Yes, he
Yeah.
has a mustache and glass. Well, it's ding, 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 ding,
They're
ding.
all just me.
It's all you. And then the posters too for the tour. You know, you have said before your time at Staples wasn't so rewarding and filling for your life, but the way you put the poster together with the moving window and everything, someone's got some skills, sir.
Oh yeah, that's something that only a Staples Copy Center veteran could do. Yeah. Yeah, it's very cool. The little TV on the tour poster, you can kind of spin it and change the channel.
Is there anything like, did you have ideas for this tour with merchandise and everything? Because I saw the t-shirts. There might be one with WWE that's involved and Jesus, and there's a whole bunch. There's a look for everyone at Joywave's merch stand for sure. Were there ideas that you had that haven't come through yet, but you're going to hold them for down the road?
Of course, I mean, all we're ever trying to do is entertain ourselves, and we've been lucky that when we do that, other people are having a good time too.
Yeah, no, there's great stuff, which also you can get merchandise at joywavemusic.com, not joywave.com. Please, everyone do that. I said bowling earlier. One of your shows coming up on the tour is going to be at Brooklyn Bowl in Philadelphia. Have you been
Yes,
practicing? Have you gotten ready? Because I feel like Rochester is a northeastern haven for bowling, and you should be ready, sir.
we're terrible. We're terrible at bowling. I think my high is like 112
That's not
in
bad.
my life. That's not bad.
That's not bad.
It's less than half.
A lot of people can't break 100, so you're doing all
Okay.
right. You got
All
time to
right.
practice too. I think every day, get to the lanes, bowl a couple games, watch Kingpin. You guys will be good.
All right. All right.
Jack White actually, he has a bowling alley at his house. So if you're in Nashville, you can go by his place.
I will. I'll call him.
Yeah, because we just saw him and I asked him, Jack, how's your? That was my question. Could have been about anything. The man that made Seven Nation Army. I'm like, how's your bowling average right now, dude? Oh, 170, not doing too bad, but I'll get back to it when I'm home and everything.
I would imagine that's probably what he wants to talk about at this
that
point.
you know what? He actually built the bowling alley himself. So he was impressed that I knew about it and to talk about it. Like the dude made furniture, but also made his own bowling alley. That's pretty impressive.
What a fun guy. Like I just love occasionally Conan O'Brien tells early stories about like meeting him at bowling alleys in Detroit and stuff, but it's so good.
It's just wild that he has that. Well, you have the Staples thing, Jack has the furniture thing, so we all have our hidden gems, you know?
Yeah, you gotta have a lot of talents, you know? I don't know if retail's a talent. Sure it
Oh,
is.
putting up with it is definitely a talent. I only did it for 2 weeks. I couldn't take any more after that. That was it.
Where did you work?
I worked at Toys R Us and I did
Okay.
it for extra money and it was during the holiday season and that was one of the worst employment decisions of my life.
So Paul also did that at Toys R Us during
Did
the
he
holiday
really?
season. Like, yeah, like maybe 10 years ago now, but I think by day two, he was hiding inside of like playground boxes and he would just sit in there and like wait until shift was over. Yeah.
You expect it to be holiday magic and it's holiday misery. It's just you wanna find Santa and shake him and say, why do you get these kids these toys? Why are you doing this? Dan, before we let you go here, Tour's been going great. How are people reacting to the new music with all the other stuff now?
Dude, they're loving it. I mean, it's awesome. This is the fifth record for us, so there's a lot of songs in the set, right? It's
Lot to
tough to
choose
get them
from.
all in. Yeah, right. And so narrowing that down has been a challenge, but I think we got a good mix of new and old going right now. And the record came out in May. We waited a little bit to do the tour, and looking out and seeing everybody singing the new songs makes me feel good and makes me feel good about waiting a month or two to do the tour. Just because sometimes I think when Cleanse came out, we started the tour 2 weeks later, so people were like, "Oh, I know this one. This is one of the new ones."
Yes.
Right? You wait a few months, and people have had the summer with it and develop the relationship with the song and can relate to it and stuff. So it's been great.
I hope that the song everyone is really singing the strongest to is He's Back, because come on. Jesus
It
at the
is.
Olive Garden and it's a smash hit, my friend. Is that the sister song? Is that the sister song to Buy American? Because it really feels like it to me.
I think so. I mean, I I think he's back is probably skewering like the marriage of like I guess it's the bastardization of religion to fit like the kind of right wing narrative, and maybe Buy American just skewering the right wing narrative on its own.
They could definitely be A and B on a vinyl for sure. If there's ever a Joywave record store day release, those are the songs.
Those
And
two together. All right.
and they should be sold at the front counter at Olive Garden. I don't know why they haven't had you guys play yet, like Blink did at a Denny's. Like, where is Joywave at an Olive Garden? That should happen for the video.
Yeah, can you send this to Olive Garden as well
I actually
when
have
we're
a
done?
connection at Olive Garden. I can actually send it to them.
Please do.
Joywavmusic.com. Everyone get your tickets for all the shows, for DC, for Philly, for everywhere. The boys are going coast to coast, and I'm sure you're already making plans for next year too, because you can't hold Joywave down. 1 year's not going to contain you guys. You got so much to
No,
do. So much
you
to
got to keep it rolling. You got to keep it rolling.
do. Dan, I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike. Send this to Trudeau as well.